It was a cold, quiet evening when Anna moved into the old farmhouse. Her husband, Tom, had been eager to leave the city for a simpler life, but Anna wasn't so sure. The house was beautiful, but there was something off about it, something that made her skin crawl. The first night was peaceful enough, but as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Objects moved by themselves, whispers echoed through the hallways when no one was around. At first, Anna thought she was imagining it, but then she found the note. It was folded neatly on the kitchen counter, written in a shaky hand. "I'm watching you." She dismissed it as a prank, but it shook her. The house was isolated, and it was just the two of them. Who would be watching? The second note came a week later, again on the kitchen counter, and this time it was more detailed. "I see you when you sleep. I hear you when you cry." Anna's heart skipped a beat. She showed it to Tom, but he simply shrugged it off. "It's just some kids messing around," he said. But Anna couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every night, the shadows in the corners of her room seemed darker, thicker. She heard soft creaks on the stairs, like someone was walking slowly, deliberately, waiting. Then, on the third night, Anna woke to find Tom missing from their bed. She jumped out of the sheets, panic rising in her chest. She searched the house, calling his name. No answer. She rushed downstairs and found the back door wide open. The wind howled, sending a chill down her spine. That's when she saw it. The third note. This one was pinned to the door, written in red. "I have him now." Frantic, Anna grabbed a flashlight and ran outside. The wind tugged at her, but she pushed forward, calling Tom's name. The flashlight flickered in her trembling hands, but she kept going, down the old path leading into the woods behind the house. The trees whispered and moaned, their branches swaying like fingers reaching for her. Her breath was sharp in her throat, and fear gripped her chest. Every step felt like it took her deeper into the unknown. Then she saw it, the silhouette of a man standing under the moonlight. Her heart raced, but as she moved closer, she realized something was terribly wrong. The figure was motionless, staring into the distance, completely still. Anna's throat went dry as she approached. "Tom," she called softly. The figure didn't respond. It just stood there, unmoving, staring at something far beyond her. Suddenly, a hand clamped down on her shoulder, and she spun around, but it wasn't Tom. It was cold, and the fingers were thin, almost skeletal. Anna screamed and tried to pull away, but the figure whispered, "You shouldn't have come looking." The flashlight flickered out, and in the darkness she heard a voice she recognized, Tom's voice, distorted and hollow. "You should have stayed inside." Before she could scream again, the hand tightened around her neck, and she was pulled into the dark. The house sat empty the next morning. The kitchen was silent save for the soft hum of the wind. There was no sign of Anna or Tom, only the fourth note resting on the counter. "I'm watching you." And in the distance, the faint sound of whispers began again.